Yo, welcome to Happy Piano. I don't know why, but that intro always sounds a little bit faster than it should do. I don't know, man. Maybe I played it that fast. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, welcome to Happy Piano. Today, I'm just going to do a quick video. I hope it's a quick video anyway. I've prepared some slideshows. And the topic, obviously, is it better to have a piano teacher or to basically go it alone? I'll give you my opinion at the end, but these are some topics I came across. I thought up and also came across on the internet. So let's have a look. Okay, so we'll start with piano teacher. Why is it good to have a piano teacher? Well, obviously, as you see here in red, it helps with motivation and discipline, which is obviously a key factor when you want to learn the piano. Piano is not something you can just start like one day and then just be like, nah, I can't bother anymore. If you start playing the piano, I think the first benchmark should be a year. And then after that, you can decide if you want to continue or not. You know, if you're just really not interested in it, then you stop. But if you decide to continue, then it's definitely beneficial to have a teacher. Probably best to keep a teacher for, I think, the first 3 to 5 years. I think it's important to have a teacher. I think anything after that, yeah, it's up to you. Okay. Also, works on your technique. The teacher will always correct you and help you play, like for example, scales the right way. Also, the hand positions, which is really important in piano. You just end up with a load of injuries or strains if you don't use your hands correctly, especially positions. You know, the flowing kind of movement, the flow. It needs to flow. I know it looks a bit stupid sometimes, you know, but actually it really works. Also, sitting posture, sitting up straight when you're playing, not slouching. You know, chilling. You know, I'm just chilling, man. You know, I'm just chilling on the piano. No, none of that. Timing's also an interesting one. Timing. I know a lot of teachers. There's a lot of hobby teachers who probably don't really emphasize timing. I think it's very important to get that early into especially younger students because yeah, once you've got timing, rhythm, you know, timing comes rhythm. Once you've got rhythm and you understand, you can clap on the beat. That's really important. It will help you along your piano journey. So time is very important. And play with a metronome, obviously. First, you can learn without scales, without a metronome, and then with a metronome. Another reason it's good to have a piano teacher is obviously you've got someone there who knows probably 90% of everything to do with music. You know, not gonna know, well, they should know everything, but it can be that sometimes some of the older stuff slips you by. You know, questions such as what kind of piano should I buy? You know, if you're just starting out or you got know someone who's interested or your child, you can ask them what kind of piano you should buy. Definitely one with hammer action. 88 keys is a must if you want to learn piano. If you want to learn keyboard, you can go with something a little bit smaller, 61 keys or 70, 75, something like that. But if you're gonna get 75, you might as well get 88 because I guess it all comes down to price after that. There's also some technical signs. Here I wrote down the BB. Sometimes you see the BB and the X after a note or before a note, shall I say. It's like a double flat or double sharp. The X represents a double sharp. Yeah, but sometimes some people just don't know this, you know. So that's what teachers are, basically musical encyclopedias, like written here. Also, teacher will pick nice pieces for you that'll reflect on your level. You know, I will go into this a bit later, but I do know that if you're trying to learn yourself, it could be that you're trying to play pieces that are just way too hard. You know, also there's another thing that happens when you're learning yourself. You might become really a good player, you know, you play fluidly and you know you're really good, you're all fast on the piano. And then as soon as you get a piece of music in front of you, that reading level might not be the same as your playing level, you know. So this is why it's good to have a teacher too, because he can assess the situation. Okay, you're not really, you can play at a grade 9 or 10 or whatever you want to say, but reading wise, you're more at a level grade 2 or 3. You know, this is a typical thing of someone who studies piano themselves. Yeah, so it helps with the pacing, so you won't just jump ahead, try to do more stuff than you can. And obviously, stressing on the last point, reading music, keeping you up to date with how to read music. You know, reading music is very important. it's one of the most important things I think you can do. I think it's not a necessity depending on what kind of piano player or musician you want to be. But reading music is definitely something that's very important to learn early. Yeah. Practicing music too. Also, there's a way to practice, by breaking up the music sheet, learning bar by bar, measure by measure. So you can keep the song in your memory, the classic. Some people subscribe to the idea that you should play the sheet all the way through and then all the way through. This is not going to work. You need to break the song down. If you can read really well, if you can sight read really well, then it works out that you can say, okay, I'll play the sheet, the song all the way through a couple of times, then I can do it as a performance. But generally, you want to try and remember the song. The reason why it's better to remember the song is then you can put your own spin on it, which I emphasize a lot. I always say you shouldn't play the song how this guy wanted to play it. I know some people say that, and if you're going to be a concert pianist, maybe you should. But I think you also should have your special spin and touch on the way music sounds. Okay, so we'll switch over to being a self-taught pianist. It's a little bit. I like the idea of being a self-taught pianist. You're gonna have to be self-driven. Obviously, first thing, top of the list. You have to be self-driven. You have to have a lot of discipline. This is 2 prerequisites that you have to have before you can even embark on this journey. Because this journey is not something, like I said, you can just do in a year and get to a level and then say, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because I can guarantee you by the second year, you will have forgotten everything. So you have to have discipline. You have to be self-driven. Piano technique might not be on par with someone who has a teacher. It doesn't mean you won't get it, though. You can get piano technique when you're just self-taught. You can get this too. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos and stuff and then try and just play the way, or watch people who play and try and emulate them. Another thing is picking the right instrument. A lot of people who start playing the piano probably won't start with the piano, probably end up with something, because obviously pianos are more expensive. So you probably end up getting a keyboard. Now, keyboards are light on the hammer action is very light, so it's not very good for your feel, the way it sounds. If you want to try to do light touch, a lot of keyboards, modern keyboards, actually have like a touch response button that helps. But in general, if you really want to like develop greatly on the piano, as a musician, piano player, you have to get a piano or close to a piano. Okay. Obviously, it costs a lot less to be self-taught, which is a big bonus. We always want to pay less money. It's also very convenient, because of the internet. The internet's made it really good. You got like so much like tutorials. You got YouTube. There's so much to read. It's really a wealth of knowledge on the internet. There's a good range of software too that can help you. Obviously, you got Simply Piano, which is on a absolute marketing adventure, telling everybody that's what you should play. Flowkeys is the one. Synthesia is probably not, like, if you're really motivated. Like with Synthesia, there's no technique involved. You watch some bars dropping out. I use it to show you guys what I'm doing. Drops down some notes, and you got to press. It's more like a game than a actual teacher. But it's still useful if you want to get the notes and then put your own expression on it. You can use Synthesia too. Or if you're really good at emulating the original sound, if you know this piece really well, you can say, okay, I'm going to learn the notes from this. And then, in fact, that probably makes reading music a little bit obsolete. If you want, you could just use that instead. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah. So being self-taught, obviously, it's going to develop ear training. Probably the second most important thing after reading music. Actually, probably on level, I would say you should be able to read, listen to a song and play. You should be able to do that. And that's something you need to develop. I remember people used to ask me how do I do it, because this was actually one of the first things I was able to do, is listen to songs and play them. Yeah, I don't know how I acquired that so soon, but it was something that I'm happy I got quickly. And it helps you in the whole process, if you ask me. So ear training is something that you'll learn when you're self-taught. You'll probably learn that faster than reading. Obviously, you'll learn more styles as well. There's a lot of styles that you'll delve in because like obviously with a teacher, one of the negative sides of having a teacher, if you don't have a teacher who plays a lot of styles, like most of the great ones are just classically trained, and that's what they assume everyone wants to do. But a lot of the younger kids, especially the new generations, they don't want to learn classical music. They're not interested in it. They want to learn pop. They want to learn their favorite pop songs, you know, and that's probably what most of their nursery rhymes. That's where it ends. They want to learn their favorite pop songs. Maybe one or two classical pieces like I don't know, Fair Elise or Kainon in D or something like that, or Mozart in C. Yeah, and that's it. That's where it ends. And then like now I want to learn the songs by Ed Sheeran and all these guys. So that's something you'll definitely do if you're self-taught. You'll go find all the songs you want to learn before you even touch a classical piece. And obviously, because of that, you'll get very creative. Creativity will go through the roof. Improvisation, all that stuff. Because you'll have to learn. You'll have to learn what are chords. You'll have to learn arpeggios. Yeah, and that'll just shoot through the roof. You'll know how to put that together. Or you'll know the basic stuff, you know. And yeah, so you create creativity to do wonders for the world. So yeah, that's what I think basically. A piano teacher, and the difference between a piano teacher and being self-taught are there's obviously a lot more stuff, there's a lot more depth you can go into. My opinion, what I think is actually the best. Well, I was for the most part self-taught, but in a way, because I've been so involved in music, I've kind of had indirect teachers. But I would say for the start, I was self-taught simply because I couldn't afford, or my mom couldn't afford to get me lessons. So I had no choice. I nagged my mom for piano, and I got keyboard, and I got one. You know, it slowed me down massively. The interest was there, you know, the ability was there, but it was more a case of if you don't have the finances or backing, you're not going to get it. So I think you'll start faster with a piano teacher. Definitely, you should stick with a piano teacher for the first 3 to 5 years, I would say. After that, what you want to do, depending on what direction you want to go into, then you can continue on your own journey if you would like. But it's always good to have a teacher there. I think you should do a bit of both. Have a teacher for pretty much your whole life, I would say, until you become a teacher. Because at some point, most piano players should become a teacher, and always continue to expand your knowledge, musical knowledge, going into different genres. You know, playing jazz, pop, ragtime, and all, etc., classical. You should never be a one-dimensional, one-trick pony, as they say. You should be always able to play into different styles, and that'll make you the best version of yourselves, really. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. Sorry, it's a bit longer than it usually is, man. I normally try and get these videos in 5 minutes, but that was quite a long video. You know the drill, man. If you subscribe or like or whatever, you know what you need to do, man. I ain't gonna fuss. You know, I'm just trying to put knowledge out there. I'm just trying to help you guys get the right information and have the most fun you can in life. So yeah, anyway, that's me. I'll catch up with you guys